Well, good morning to anybody who may be listening to this message. I hope it's helpful. I've been meditating upon the position of the stranger within our camp, which is, it's kind of topical, or very topical, really. And what his place is in the unfolding events that surround us and in the establishment of the kingdom of God, which is what we're aiming for. So, if we look in the Bible, there are many times when the stranger has reached out his or her hand and helped our people, and his eyes or her eyes have taken pity upon us and our desperate situation. And I think this is going to be true today and tomorrow also. So I'm thinking about Pharaoh's daughter, for example, who took pity on the infant Moses floating in his basket and took him in. And her gesture had incredible repercussions for the world, because Moses, of course, was the man that spoke with God, ultimately. Pharaoh's daughter is not really mentioned but once or twice in the Bible. We don't know much about her, but we have much to thank her for. And there are other cases, of course, in the Bible. I mean, Moses himself was aided by Jethro, a Midianitish man, and his father-in-law. He married a Midianitish woman, and she had the foresight to warn him that he needed to circumcise his children, his sons. She saved his life. We have Nebuchadnezzar, who was converted. We have the Syrian high commander, who was converted thanks to Elisha's prophecy when he was healed. He became a Christian in that moment, and really, or he became a follower of the one true God. Christianity was not yet known, because Christ hadn't appeared in the flesh, although he's written throughout the Old Testament, and understanding has came surely to many believers. And it's interesting concerning Naaman, I think I'm remembering his name correctly. He asked for 2 loads of earth, so that he may go to his country and worship the Lord upon the soil of Israel. And his wish was granted, that he should take 2 barrow loads of earth. And he asked a release from Elisha, that he may, as it were, feign observance of the local religious beliefs. Because, of course, if you stand out to a certain extent, your life will be ransom. You won't live at all if you challenge the authority of your local god, whoever it may be. And You could say the same is true with the Mohammedan community, who have to make a reckoning with the power of the mosque. Even among imams, there will be one or two that have heard our cries and that have an understanding for our suffering and that will stretch out a hand and help us. I have a Mohammedan neighbor, a woman from an Canaanitish woman of East African origin. And she's helped me. She helped me when I was sick. She looked after my house. She sometimes cooks a meal and asks me if I want to partake, or she brings it round. And although I don't eat halal meat in normal circumstances, I eat the meat that she cooks because I recognize it as, a gesture of compassion. And there are many people, of that persuasion in following different faiths that have looked upon our people and had compassion for the way that we've been reduced. And I think that will be remembered, as it will be remembered when the opposite has occurred and they have joined hands, as it were, to condemn us and to pray for our demise. These things must be remembered and recorded. Whichever community, we've had a measure of support from the Sikh community. That's quite a traditional thing in this country, that the Sikh has been our ally. But the Sikh has his eyes sometimes so sharply focused on the gold. This is the risk among the Sikh, in the Sikh community, seeking after gold rather than after God. But again, there will be honest and righteous men among our brothers in the Sikh community, in the Muslim community, and in the other faiths, the Hindu community, all the rest of them. As there will be those who will defend us among the publicans, I should say, and I classify publican as anybody who receives their wages from the king or from the state, if you'd rather look at it like that. So that would include, nurses and doctors and policemen and tax inspectors. There will be men and women among them with compassion who are aiding wherever they can and reducing the harshness that is levied upon us whenever it's possible. And, these gestures, I believe, will be remembered, they will be recorded. So, all is not lost, even though we are apparently overwhelmed. It must have looked very dire in Egypt at the time of Moses. But we are dealing with an invasion of our own country. It's slightly different, I suppose. But I take heart from the idea, the Lord can work through the heart of any man and any woman. Even Christians. God bless today.